Goldman Sachs has a rule: no work expected between Friday night and Sunday morning. The rule exists because young bankers kept dying. Last year, 1.1 million people applied to work there anyway. Fewer than 1 in 100 got in. A first-year analyst earns $110,000, which, after taxes and 98-hour weeks, works out to less per hour than the McDonald's across the street. The partner who signs his bonus earns $4.8 million. There are 8 levels between them. This is what each one looks like, and what each one costs. Level 1, the intern. You're 20 years old, junior year, Goldman Sachs, Summer Analyst Program, 10 weeks, New York City. You got in. You haven't done anything yet. 200 West Street, 43 floors of glass and money. Your badge doesn't work on the first morning. You stand at the turnstile while people in better suits flow around you. Nobody helps. Nobody looks. You are furniture that hasn't been assembled yet. There are 80 summer analysts. Same GPA, same schools, same resumes. Here you start at 0. Your job is to build models in Excel and not make mistakes. You work from 9 a.m. to whenever the associate tells you to leave. The associate never tells you to leave before midnight. You make $17,000 for the summer. After tax, $11 an hour. But you're not here for the money. You're here for the return offer. At the end of week 10, they call you into a conference room. 2 minutes, a handshake, a return offer. You go to the bathroom and call your mother. She cries. You don't. Not because you're not relieved, because something already shifted. You start in September. Level 2, the analyst. Your base salary is $110,000. Before you see a dollar of it, New York takes a third and your $4,200 a month Tribeca studio takes the rest. You make good money. You cannot afford to live like it. Nobody fully explains the hours until you're inside them. 95 hours a week. 5 hours of sleep a night. Your body stops understanding sleep as something that happens at night. It becomes something that happens in cabs, in bathroom stalls, in the 90 seconds between when your head hits the desk and the next Slack notification. Your title is analyst. Your actual job is to build pitch books, presentations that convince a CEO to hire Goldman Sachs. You update fonts. You align boxes. At 2 a.m., at 4 a.m., at 6 a.m., when the associate messages about the logo and the client meeting is at 8, you fix the logo. You shower. You come back. In 2021, 13 first-year analysts leaked a slide deck to the press. Average hours, 98 per week. One wrote that he'd been through foster care, and Goldman was arguably worse. 77% said they'd been victims of workplace abuse. Goldman's CEO called the conditions unacceptable. Then deal volume hit record highs, and the hours went back to what they were. You get your first bonus in January, $40,000. You feel like a god for one afternoon. Then the analyst next to you mentions his was $65,000. You spend the rest of the week wondering what you did wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. That's just how the floor works. Survive 2 years and you either get promoted or you leave. Everyone who leaves calls it exiting to the buy side like it was a choice. Most were managed out and rebranded the story. Some don't make it out at all, but that part comes later. Level 3, the associate. You have an MBA now. Wharton, $220,000 in loans. Your base is $175,000. Bonus brings total comp to $250,000 in a good year. The debt is manageable on a spreadsheet. The spreadsheet doesn't account for the Sunday night feeling. You know the Sunday night feeling. It starts around 4 p.m. That specific weight in your chest when you remember Monday exists. You had it as an analyst. You assumed it would go away when you got promoted. It didn't go away. It got a name. Everyone on the floor has it. Nobody talks about it. The truth is, it doesn't belong to Goldman. Anyone who has ever traded their time for a title they're not sure they wanted has felt it at 4 p.m. on a Sunday. Goldman just gives it to you younger and heavier than anywhere else. Your job changed. You don't build decks anymore. You manage the analysts who build them. You fix their mistakes before the VP sees them. You are the filter between the work and the people who matter. And one night, you message an analyst at 2 a.m. about a font. You hear yourself and recognize the sound. 18 months ago, that message would have ruined your night. Now you're the one sending it. You became the person you swore you wouldn't become. You keep typing anyway. Ask anyone who's been through Goldman which level was the hardest. They don't say analyst. They say associate. Because the analyst knows they're suffering. The associate has to pretend they're not. Level 4. The vice president. Here is something nobody tells you. There are 10,000 vice presidents at Goldman Sachs, out of 45,000 employees. The title sounds important. It is not. VP at Goldman is middle management. The title exists so clients feel important when a vice president takes their call. You are a label designed to impress strangers. You're 30. Compensation clears $400,000 in a good year. The VP one floor above you, same title, same hours, cleared $650,000. Nobody explains the gap. You don't ask. Asking is how you find out you're the one they're thinking of managing out. You take a client to dinner. He tells you about his daughter's college applications. You nod. You ask the right questions. You don't care about his daughter. You care that this dinner turns into a mandate worth 8 figures. You've gotten very good at making people feel heard while calculating what they're worth. You don't play golf. You buy clubs anyway. By month 6, you have opinions about courses. You are becoming someone your college self would find unbearable. The job requires it. Your college friends stopped inviting you. Not because they don't like you. Because the last 4 times they tried, you were on a flight or asleep at your desk. Your silence was enough. You are not climbing a ladder. You are inside a machine. And the machine doesn't know your name. Level 5. The managing director. You're 38. Total compensation this year is $1.2 million. You originate your first deal, a $2 billion merger. You sat across from a CEO and convinced him Goldman was the only choice. The number stopped meaning anything around $600,000. Above that, it's just a score. Your name is on the tombstone now, the glass block that commemorates the deal. The analysts who built the model don't appear anywhere. You remember being that analyst. You send them a thank you email. It takes 4 minutes to write because you've forgotten how to say something without it sounding transactional. Your daughter had a school play on Thursday. You watched the recording on a flight to London. She was the lead. She was very good. You told her that on Sunday. She said, "Thanks, Dad," and went back to her phone. She's 11. She has never seen you before 9 p.m. on a weekday. Last month, she drew a picture of her family for school. You're not in it. Not because she's angry, because she drew what she sees at home. The money buys everything except the one thing you keep running out of, and you haven't reached the level where the cost becomes permanent. Level 6. The partner. There are 400 partners at Goldman Sachs, out of 45,000 employees. You are one of them. You're 44. Compensation last year? $4.8 million. The lifestyle stopped updating somewhere around year 12 and calcified. You sit on committees. You approve deals you didn't build. You mentor MDs who remind you of yourself at 38, hungry, certain, slightly hollow behind the eyes in a way they haven't noticed yet. You have everything the 20-year-old with the broken badge wanted. The office, the title, the number. You also have a divorce. A son in college who texts you on your birthday and major holidays. A doctor who uses the word stress the way other doctors use the word cancer, carefully, with follow-up questions. 650 Goldman alumni currently sit in C-suite roles at billion-dollar companies. 45% of partners started as interns. They walk through the same lobby. Their badge didn't work. They fixed it, and they came back every day for 24 years. You are the most successful version of the person you set out to become. You're not sure that person and you are still the same. Level 7. The cost. This is the part that never makes the recruiting presentation. In April 2015, a phone rang at 2:40 in the morning. Not your phone, but it could have been. A 22-year-old Goldman analyst in San Francisco, a kid who fixed the same logos you fixed, called his father in New Delhi. He said he hadn't slept in 2 days. He had a client meeting in the morning, a presentation to finish, and his VP was annoyed. His father told him to come home. "They will not allow," he said. A month earlier, he had tried to resign. His father, who wanted him to complete his first year, convinced him to stay. Goldman asked him to reconsider. He went back. By 6:40 that morning, he was found in the parking lot of his apartment building. He was 22 years old. He is not the only one. Goldman's Saturday rule, no work between Friday night and Sunday morning, exists because young bankers keep dying. The Analyst surveyed in 2021 said the rule was not always respected. The machine does not stop for the people inside it. Level 8, the next one. Goldman doesn't need you to be happy. It needs you to perform, and it will find someone who performs whether you stay or not. Right now, somewhere on a university career portal, a junior is clicking submit at midnight. 3.9 GPA, 4 clubs, 1 internship that wasn't Goldman. He'll get through 3 rounds. He'll get the offer. He'll walk through the lobby at 200 West Street. His badge won't work on the first morning. Nobody will help. Nobody will look. He'll fix it. He'll come back tomorrow. The machine doesn't stop. It just gets new parts. Next file, the levels of BlackRock, the company that manages $10 trillion. Different power, different machine, and a name most people have heard but almost nobody understands.